If you're using one of these three phrases at work, you're doomed. So let's talk about what they are, why not to say them, and what to say instead. Phrase number 1, unfair. If you especially are a woman and you use the phrase unfair, what is the first phrase that is going to pop into the brain of every single man that listens? Right. Life is not fair. And then they will add the word sweetheart. So in essence, what we are doing is blocking our own message from getting through by raising self-talk and labeling ourselves a sweetheart. But if you were to instead choose the word that's more precise for the situation, such as, my pay is unequal to the pay of a man doing the same job, this is an inequitable situation. This is not a reciprocal relationship. Doing so changes it from a personal issue to a legal issue like that, and people will be more interested in hearing what you have to say. Number 2, that type of language. We tend to couple phrases such as that type of language with phrases such as I don't appreciate. And if you use either one of those two phrases, you're doomed. So what we want to do is be specific and not project on something or label something. Instead, lay out the facts. For example, at work I should be spared those types of objectifying jokes, religious beliefs, that type of ageist label, those classist remarks, anti-Semitic statements, inflammatory language, that type of dehumanizing rhetoric, wouldn't you agree? That is setting boundaries. That is saying, this is where the line is. And not everybody knows how to draw that line. Not everybody knows how to say that. And if you don't, and you want more tips on that, come and check out that course. I put a link below. Because we need to know when it comes time for me to say, this is the line, what is that line? What is it called? Remember, words are power. And when you know how to precisely choose your words, John, those types of racial epithets, ageist descriptions, violent profanity, misogynistic phrases are counterproductive to us, our team, and our company mission. People are more likely to listen to you. And right there, you'll weed a lot of people out who would be like, what's the nice little epithet? You know what I mean? So that is still considered everyday usage, common phrase, but people who don't read books tend not to know what it is. And so they don't want to respond to it until they get a chance to look it up. So for a moment in time anyway, it'll shut them up. That is what you would call a super thanks moment. Now, before we move totally along to phrase number 3, I also wanted to point out that women tend to face different issues from the ones that men face at work. We all know that. One of the issues that women tend to forget that they are up against all the time is that in the brain of a man, when they listen to you speak, they are going to look for opportunities where they can label you, my mom. You're talking down to me like you're my mom. So any phrase that tends to associate us with a mother talking down to her children or putting their children in line, you don't want to use, because it's just one more hurdle to then have to overcome in the whole race to get the message from your brain into the brain of the person to whom you are sending that message. And phrase number 3, I think. Remember, nobody cares what you think. Nobody cares what you feel. Nobody cares what your gut instinct is. Nobody cares what your powers of ESP have revealed to you. Nobody cares about that stuff. What they do care about, however, maybe if we have a chance for people to care about the information that we're about to tell them, we might have a chance if we were to say, instead of we think something or we feel something, why? And that's something that I talk about a lot in business communication, especially for women. We want to be very specific and deliberate in our word choice. So when I'm saying that I like this idea or that tends to presuppose that I have been selected to be part of that decision-making process or that brainstorming session because of the expertise that I possess, the information that I have that other people do not have, or else the whole world would be in that brainstorming session trying to figure out a solution to some problem, right? People are interested in hearing what my experience tells me, what the evidence points to, what the customer surveys have revealed, what my observation has been. That's very different from what I feel or what I think or what I believe or any of that stuff. And if you can attach the information that you have to a third party, someone other than yourself, even better, because people are more likely to listen to us and believe us if we are telling them what someone else found than they would be if we were to tell them what we have found. So when it comes time to say what you think, what you feel, what you believe, tell people why and what the factors were that helped you make that decision, and people will be more likely to listen to that decision. And remember that if you have one answer, people believe you have all the answers. And once you have that label, it's very difficult to shake it. So watch that. Those of you who have chosen to become members, thank you very much. Have a good week, everybody. I hope that wherever you are, you're with somebody that you love. And if you are, please tell them that. And remember that there's nothing that you have to say that you can't say in a loving way. And if you have any challenges doing that, that's what I'm here for. So let me know. This is Dan O'Connor, signing off.